Welcome back to the OCS. I have no words as to what we just saw. That was interesting draft, interesting game.
It was League of Legends.
It was League of Legends.
I'm just going to be super basic and technically right. That was a game of League of Legends we just witnessed.
Super level-headed play there from Legacy. Interesting way to start off the day. Are we going to see some more? It's going to be QUT versus the Chiefs. And this is an interesting one versus like ladder math, right?
Oh, yes.
Chiefs and QUT, I feel like, are in differing situations right now. Chiefs 5 wins, QUT 3, but they can still make it.
Well, I think this is like equal importance to both teams because QUT, yes, they're 3-6, but they've looked better in the second half of the season than the first half, and they can still win out, find themselves in this crazy 4-way tiebreaker, and possibly get that playoffs. Chiefs, on the other hand, though, they're kind of in like this win-in position. They just need to win one more game. If they can win this one, odds are they will get it.
Yeah. Because like you look at the middle of the ladder, and it's like there's what 4 teams within like 1 point. Like it's top 6 progress, and right now like 5 points is progression.
Yeah.
And Chiefs are like right sitting on that cusp over the Bombers. They believe actually have the head-to-head they do over the Bombers, so like they're sitting in a good position right now. But for QUT, right, it's like they're sitting 3 victories over the course of the split. Like that's not a good start, right? But they can make it. It needs to start with a victory here versus Chiefs, and then they can have like the head-to-head. They also play Bombers later, so it's like they play both teams that are sitting on 5 points right at that cusp.
Yeah,
they can make it in.
They would need help as well, though.
Yes.
Because assuming they beat the Chiefs here, they would then need, I believe, Order to come through and like beat the Chiefs as well next week. So Chiefs winning it completely knocks out QUT.
Yes.
That's all well and good.
Yeah.
And even if QUT does win, they still need future help down the line.
Yeah,
but the dream's still there. And as a traditional sports fan, I love my NFL and I love crazy playoff scenarios. This is like right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, they've like done a lot of the work already, given that like they've already got like the head-to-head versus Order, right? So it's like winning, as you get towards like the end of the season, winning games versus teams that were above you on the ladder earlier really does start to like pay off because it's like head-to-head scenarios favor you. You do have more control. But that is, of course, kind of the end of the season, like what things happen. This game here today, like all of this withstanding, they can make playoffs, like both of these teams fighting position right now. Chiefs, I think, certainly have looked better in recent weeks.
Yeah, Chiefs definitely have looked better, and I still would pick them to win this game. I think they're a stronger team. I think they're almost that benchmark team where it's like, if you want to be a contender, you need to be at this level, if not greater than the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're like the barometer, like in the middle of the ladder. It's like,
I mean, there's a lot of barometer teams. I would almost argue that Legacy was a barometer before today, but they just came up huge, so maybe I'm putting them above it.
They're kind of like too wildcardy, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like the barometer is like the team that like sits in the middle, and it's like they play fairly standard. For me, like the first half of the split, that was like Mprox, and now they're like sitting almost, I guess, tied for second, but like people haven't played yet. We're only a single game through the day, but yeah, it's fairly interesting. Chiefs going to be rocking their actual top laner this day as well. Tian coming back into the lineup. Wei coming through as an AD carry as well. So this is a team that I think, he played OPL. It's now like 2 weeks removed because we had the Rift Rivals break. But him coming back into the roster for the end of the OCS split, where the games really do matter, is super important.
Yeah, but Feint is also going to be coming back for the QUT Tigers as well in that AD carry position. I believe he was on the team at the start of the season.
Yes, yeah.
So...
Because like Spoil came in like support. QUT for the majority of the split have just been like Spoil, Vicaria, like just over and over again, like playing support roles obviously, but Feint obviously unavailable for whatever reason last week, not able to make it. And unfortunately got themselves a bit of a loss against Order there, but we are finally into this game. QUT Tigers versus Chiefs Academy. Super important one. Game 2 of Week 10.
I was about to ask who had the better logo. Who was winning the logo battle?
Oh, they're so different.
I know.
Chiefs is just like...
It's a shield.
Yeah, but it's just like standard logo, and QUT's got like lots of stuff going on. I feel like they're drastically different
I was going to give it to the Chiefs because I tend to like simplistic things, but then I realized that the tiger was robot. It's a robot tiger.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see like the little nuts and bolts behind the ears.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's kind of, it's nifty, it's different. Pick some bands though.
Well, forgive my lack of knowledge. Is QUT like a technical university? Like are they prized for like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's Queensland University of Technology.
Oh, like...
So, yeah.
Like that makes sense.
It makes so much sense.
That makes lots of sense. Okay.
Kind of like banning Lux and banning Mordekaiser makes a lot of sense.
Yes, Kiana is going to make it all the way through though, which is interesting. And if anybody's going to pick it up, Frogadog would make a lot of sense in my head. But no, it's just going to be the Karma. Of course, there's always hope. But that's a very strong power pick in the current patch. The only thing she lost this patch was the movement speed. She still got the like mana cost of her E taken away, the extra damage of her Q.
Is it really a loss though if it's just gone back to what it was 2 patches ago?
Yeah, it feels bad. I've definitely just been like hard one-tricking Karma in solo queue.
Oh, okay.
She is just the easiest champ to climb with. Because your lane is, I mean, like, I speak from a support point of view, where she doesn't actually get played much support, but like, she's just super oppressive in lane and then just scales into oblivion. It's real nice.
Fast picks coming through though in response by the Chiefs and insta-lock Aurelia and Talia.
Yeah, which is interesting. You don't often see that stuff. We did see a little bit of Talia played in the mid lane at Rift Rivals. She hasn't been a jungler for a very long time, but a team with Tian on it, with Aurelia early rotation makes sense. Silas, of course, is now most likely a jungler, given some of the changes. Lost a bit of laning strength, but certainly can clear fairly healthily and fairly well. Very, pretty long-range comp that the Tigers have put together already this game. The Karma, the Ezreal, haven't really shown that much.
Yeah, I'd like to see some gap closers coming out of QUT to help maybe bring the fight more in towards them. Aatrox, though, will be selected by the Chiefs Academy, and strong power pick, but I'm a little bit worried that it could get poked out already from what QUT
Well, the thing
has.
is it can go in the jungle, right? Like, if it's Talia, like, answer to Karma mid or something like that, then Aatrox can always go there. So I guess both of these guys pretty flexible so far. Nothing really shown from either point, but they do have the role mismatch. Bottom lane is, I expect, what will get hit on here for the Tigers. A couple of 80 carry bans going the way of Wei. It's kind of worked out. Definitely didn't intend that one.
I am kind of sad about that Nocturne ban. Because
Yeah.
we do know that's been Unspecialized's specialty.
Weeks.
You know, taking that Nocturne into the mid lane. Chiefs want no part of that one. They're going to go ahead and get rid of that. And that makes me sad because I love mid Nocturne. It's still my favorite thing.
Yeah, but like it makes sense. Like it's fun to watch, but it also makes so much sense because no matter what Chiefs do, they want to play side lanes, right?
Yeah.
Like they have damage threats that can split push. If the Talia isn't a jungler, then she wants to like open up the map and start like Weavers walling into plays and stuff like that. So removing champions that have like the ability to pick on the side lanes could be very strong. Also have to mention that Vicaria, big Camille support fan. I expect this is probably not the game for it, but certainly something that we have seen in recent weeks.
I actually wouldn't mind like knowing the side lanes pressure that the QUT team wants to bring and seeing what we just saw that last game. I'm surprised LeBlanc actually hasn't been banned out just yet. I feel that could be a very strong pickup right now for QUT.
Yeah, potentially. Matchup certainly harder than the Heimerdinger one.
True.
And they had like the Rammus lockdown, so it's like very easy to be like, I want a champion that yes may like lose lane, but straight up like I can just force, I can distort, I can chain, I can look for a gank setup with the Rammus. Whereas
You can look for a gank setup with the Thresh though,
yes, you could.
but that's also on the Chiefs, not on QUT. So
Yes,
that's
you just said a whole bunch of nothing.
I did.
It's just
That was a pile of
Yep.
useless information that we're just going to throw off that desk.
Yeah. Good. Good, we've done it. No, Thresh lock-in for Nautica, though, does make sense. Big fan of the Nautilus, big fan of Thresh. Has been one of the better performing supports over this split, I believe. And that is going to be a Poppy. I suspect, actually, fairly reasonable answer. If that goes to the top side, into like something like the Aatrox, the Aurelia, both of those guys rely on the dashes. Very useful defensive unit, I'll call, after playing way too much TFT. In the top lane, and Froggadog has piloted that one before this split, so it's not the first time we've seen him on the Yordle with a hammer.
You feel that Poppy's strong in TFT? Because I've
No,
not had any
but
luck
she's
with that.
she's
a Yordle.
I think I said she was a unit.
Yes.
She exists.
She's
She's counted by a single item.
She has 2 keywords, though,
Sure.
and each of them are kind of average.
Yeah.
Fizz, though, locked in.
That
Not someone in
is-
TFT, but I'm also surprised to see that.
Yes, this is very weird. Very, very weird. So Fizz lock-in, probably just going to be Karma support. QUT, much easier to understand, right? Karma Ezreal in the bottom lane, Fizz in the mid lane, and then Poppy up top, dealing with whatever gets thrown his way. And Wei actually piloting the Aurelia is kind of the switcheroo here that Chiefs have pulled, of course. Poppy, if this is the case, there is the chance that QUT flip. Karma could be bottom lane, Poppy could be top lane, or they could stay in this sort of setup. I'll hold any comment for 3 seconds.
I see the potential of the steadfast presence in that bot lane. I see the potential of it in the bot lane because you're going to... Essentially, I feel the Poppy was selected as an answer for the Aurelia. So just throw the Poppy wherever the Aurelia may be.
Yeah, because I actually played the living hell out of Poppy support when she was good. Right? Like, this was back when Thunderlords existed, and it didn't really take much. Like, the Thunderlords equivalent now in Electrocute requires an investment for a support to go towards. Back then, like, you could just rune towards it, take Thunderlords, and it was like the standard. And she really relied on like one hit threat. Somebody mispositions, hit him with a wall bang, and then you one-shot them with the Ignite, and you are just super useful. You can kind of control the game that way. It's definitely a different Poppy locked in here today, but I guess when you're a Camille support specialist, Poppy isn't the furthest thing to reach towards, and as you mentioned, a lot of dashing can happen for the Aurelia, so it makes sense to just shadow.
I do miss those old Poppy support days where you can see things like Poppy Lucian and things like just like that instant burst. Was
like Ezreal was a lane as well, and it was like you just needed an 80 carry that could, at the drop of a hat, if somebody mispositions, like dash into relevance. So it's like the Ezreal, the Caitlyn, she can net and trap.
I love that phrase.
The Lucian.
The dash into relevance.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful phrase.
Yeah, they need to. Ezreal, like sitting back doing nothing, not useful. Ezreal, as soon as the Arcane shifts forwards to land 7 abilities, PogChamp.
That was a very delayed Nexus exit coming out of Chiefs Academy at the moment. A bit unfortunate, QUT, they weren't able to capitalize on that, but there were some gaps in that jungle to start this game. Actually, I'm a bit surprised. It looks like Beats is going to the bot lane and not in mid. Wei is going into the mid lane, so it's going to be the Thresh Talia bot lane.
Yeah, okay. So TP locked in for the Talia. Beats, yeah, as you mentioned, going down there. So maybe just showing and then resetting back into different lanes that they didn't quite expect. And honestly, this makes sense, right? Like, then you have the Aurelia into the Fizz. Talia has a much harder time, especially once 6 hits. Aurelia can just kind of sit there, eat the fish, and you just press W for damage reduction, and you deny almost everything that the Fizz has. Whereas Talia is like, if I get hit, I die. And there's really very little counterplay other than bring your jungler at the right times and play very defensively. So this is a very nice adaptation. I feel like from both of these teams, right? Because to take it back multiple steps, the first thing was the Vlad lock-in for the Chiefs. And it's like, oh, Aurelia isn't going to be in like a solo lane as we thought. It's not going to be top side, so this Poppy has to go support. Then you look at that and it's like, wow, QUT, like they can flex the Poppy into support. That's actually really cool. That was a very nice response to what Chiefs threw at them, but yeah, the last laugh is certainly had by the red side team there with Talia in the bottom side and throwing Wei into the mid lane.
I mean, these are really the kind of team compositions and the pick and bans that are most fun when it's just pure strategy. As Wei, though, already get jumped in on by High Goodbye. Flash is used, but the counter engage from Alani is here, trying to turn it around onto Unspecialized, but the damage not really coming quite through. Wei is in a lot of trouble trying to flash back into it, but First Blood is secured by QUT. A return kill is there for Alani, who should be able to walk away.
Yeah, High Goodbye still wants a piece of the action, though, dashing onto Alani.
Still looking for it, going quite deep. He's actually able to catch right back up. A lot of damage with that red buff from High Goodbye, and he should be able to secure that second kill.
Yeah, 2 kills going to the Silas very early this game. Flash used earlier from Alani to take down the Fizz. Yes, he traded the 1-for-1, but everything coming up QUT. Exactly because Aurelia went into the mid lane. She doesn't have the TP as...
What has happened in bot lane right now? Vicaria kind of caught out a bit too far forward, I have to imagine.
Wait, he killed Nausicaa?
Okay.
So it was like a 1-for-1, but yeah. I don't know what happened. I expect what happened is like Nausicaa walked at a wall and Vicaria's like, I'm going, right? Because that's how you have to play the Poppy. And she just like wall bang into the wall, like you look for that kill, and yes, they get it, but it did mean that it was like slightly too extended. Wasn't able to live off the back end of that one. It does get traded on.
But one of the good things for that, for QUT though, was they were also able to get the flash out of Beats. So overall, it is a net win for a QUT in the bot lane, I feel. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to see the start of that. I do suspect you're right. Like, it's a Poppy support, so it's definitely something had to prompt Poppy to go in super deep. That's an interesting positioning right now out of Nausicaa, getting that super deep ward in there, and is looking to possibly roam mid lane.
Yeah, actually super nice. Supports that don't walk straight back to bottom lane out of base. I'm a big fan. You have a lot of opportunities to play with. Beats is going to find himself underneath multiple people, but that's the one downside of Poppy support. If there's no wall, you just
kind of knock him to safety.
Yeah, you don't have CC. Like, Aftershock means you can go there, hit him with a Q, and you actually deal relevant damage, but no ability to lock him down.
And no flash available for the Poppy insect play. So nothing going to happen right there. Good rotation coming from the Chiefs right now. They're looking towards that bot side. Alani will be spotted, though, by the ward, so no play will happen just here. Top lane kind of been ignored for the first beginning of this game, going quite even as well. I believe that's to be expected, though, with Karma and Vlad.
You can kind of look at the scoreboard and be like, top lane will be largely irrelevant for the first 15 minutes because Vlad has a coin. It's just like, you know these guys are just going to be trading blows and like pushing waves in and bouncing the entire time. This is a fight though, but fairly even trade at the end of the day. But yeah, like Karma into Vladimir, wave clear, healing, shielding. Sum up the lane. It's like, that's like hashtag sum up your lane in 3 words. Like there it is. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah, so definitely we'll be expecting to see a lot more pressure in the mid and the bot side, which is why I believe both these teams are probably subtly groaning to themselves that the first dragon is an Ocean Drake, so there could be a lot of bloodshed for what is arguably like the least relevant dragon.
Yeah, one of. QUT certainly happy that they got the first blood. The mid 2v2 is definitely a big service.
Oh,
that's
big
a
death
hook landing.
sentence. Yeah, it's a big death sentence. Feint, though, able to arcane shift away, so nothing will come from it just yet. Good to see, you know, they are connecting. Little morale boost, I suppose. I can hit my skill shots.
He's gone for the good skin, so I like that one.
Oh, nice play as well.
Also, pretty nuanced matchup. The Thresh to Leah. If you land the hook, you have to be able to land a flick off of that one. And Beats and Nausicaa, I expect like this week and maybe in recent weeks have been practicing this sort of matchup potentially, but wouldn't have played together for a very long time given that he is the mid laner and the support. It's not Wei piloting the Talia, so it's kind of hard given that Thresh, weirdly than other hook champs, has that like that little tug, right? He's like, he doesn't know whether he's caught a fish, so he gives it a yank and then he's like, ah, okay, reel it in. And hitting the flick around that can be troublesome. But gonna need to see those things landing. And I mention it because it obviously wasn't up last time. That hook landed onto Ezreal. Nothing came from Beats. He just kind of sat there through a rock and was like, all right, that's all I got, bro. Like, I'm walking away. But certainly all-in threat is there if they do keep connecting.
Yeah, it's definitely a potential to happen in the bot side, but right now the action is in mid. High Goodbye looking for a way into Wei, who gets out and plays a good chunk of water, so it's a good chunk of damage, and the follow-up should be there. Unspecialized picking up the kill.
Yeah, Unspecialized is a master of the weird this split. The Nocturne into the Fizz, lands the fish, dodges out of the CC of Wei without having to use the Playful Trickster as well. So just very nicely played.
Oh,
there it is.
Big death sentence, and there is the follow-up as well. It is all too clean in the bot lane.
Yeah, very nicely done. No response there from Vicaria. No wall in sight. No charge coming through and dies without the use of his flash as well. So Chiefs, yes, the mid lane is in a little bit of a shambles right now, but bottom side making it happen.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start for Beats on this Talia, who a bit of a question mark just because it's not your traditional bot laner, not your traditional bot lane player, but 2 kills up already. That could be an option for the Chiefs to play around. Still, no one has made any real motions for this Ocean Drake as of yet. In fact, it looks as if Chiefs are opting to possibly reset before going for it, so this has really been a lot of bloodshed just for the sake of bloodshed.
Yeah, it's just a lot of gankable lanes. Like, you look at the mid matchup, and like if this is solo queue and you're a jungler, you're like, okay, like I need to influence mid because this will go one way and it'll go one way fast. Like whoever gets the early kills will probably start running away with things. So everybody just trying to play towards their lanes more often than not. No real big objectives drawing their eye, as you mentioned, and just trying to make stuff happen. Chiefs have had very good vision control of the enemy jungle bot side, but the fact of the matter is that it was pre-transform of Nausicaa's Sightstone. So, like, he can ward for his lane, but he hasn't had the ability to ward for Wei in the mid lane as of yet.
Oh,
here's a return.
Yeah, this will be a return gank, though. Chiefs are very happy to take this fight. Wei, though, still might go down. Flashes to safety. Teleport coming through will disengage the fight.
Okay. Frogdog does land. Nobody dies at the end of that one. Hook. Oh. Ever so close to landing, and True Shot Barrage goes a little bit wide. Very nice read there from the Chiefs. They know roughly the cooldown of the Fizz, and you can see Wei calls his buddies at exactly the right time. He's like, I will get fished on this wave. I need you to be here. And you know what I mean? The boys don't disappoint. Everybody rocks up, and the defense is there. So a kill opportunity missed there from QUT, and very nicely answered from the Chiefs.
And again, this is why the Chiefs are kind of that benchmark team. They have typically throughout the OCS, I found, been one of the cleaner macro teams.
Yeah.
Throughout, like very organized, very much in control, and that's just understanding, you know, okay, the wave is going to crash in this way with these Ion Power Spikes. I expect them to make the play. Let's be ready. Let's respond. Chiefs are there to respond. They absorb the pressure, almost get the turnaround. I feel as if that Death Sentence connected. Maybe they would have come out, but Nausicaa, ooh, that was an unfortunate miss.
Yeah. Looks for the kind of 50-50. Ezreal has both paths to go. But yeah, you mentioned it, right? That wasn't like a mechanical outplay. They did get themselves a TP, and like, you'll take that. They could have gone for more. If Karma doesn't TP in, then they can just continue. They can start stepping up rather than kind of throwing a Talia flick at someone as you walk away. and they could have got for more, but they just made that intelligent play. They look for the read. They will find it.
It took a little bit there.
Eventually you dies.
Yeah, gotta calculate that damage, Beats. You're off by 2. A bit unfortunate. I feel so far this game, though, still gold advantage going to QUT, and I find that almost a little bit surprising. I feel that's come from majority, I suppose, top lane. Like, I'm not really sure where it's come from.
They do have like first blood, right?
Yeah.
So their kills are just worth a little bit more, and it's not like the gold lead.
Yeah, it's
sitting at 600 right now, so probably first blood and a couple of camps here probably account for that one. Ezreal, of course, has the Klepto as well, so probably marginally up on the bottom side despite being down 2 kills.
No one around to stop that Ocean Drake, as we see a Mountain Drake will be coming next. So free Ocean for the Chiefs. Alani could just walk right up and take it as you take a look at the map vision completely in the Chiefs' favor. That said, top lane actually quite an aggressive play right there from Frogdog. TN very low, but still has Sanguine Pool, so shouldn't be in too much trouble. Actually trying to turn it with the Hemoblade. Looking at the map though, High Goodbye is coming down, is probably seeing this low health TN, but the pool is still up, so TN might be feeling safe. They are going to attempt the tower dive. Here comes High Goodbye. The pool is there, but he was rooted beforehand. A quick flash saves TN.
Yeah, very nicely played from the Karma, of course. The W does tether through the Vladimir pool and get themselves the flash out of that one. Actually, double summoners, of course. The spellbook taken by the Vladimir means he blows the health, the heal for that health boost, and that is looking for more, but this is
risky.
Dive coming out from QUT.
This is very risky.
Here.
Yeah, Nausicaa and a teleport coming through as well. Blocks him down. Frogdog's in a lot of trouble. Flashes over the wall, but High Goodbye left on his own. Weaver's Wall holding Frogdog in place as well. He will not be able to escape. 2 quick kills to the Chiefs.
And once again, Chiefs, they have the answer. QUT, they look for the play, but everybody is there from the response, and Chiefs walk away with another 2 kills. As you mentioned, complete topside control, flipping the map at the same time. 12 minutes on the clock. Is that Rift Herald has, of course, already been taken by the Silas, so they don't have that objective up and available, but you can see the vision control now just completely flips. Nausicaa goes on a merry trip through the enemy jungle, and map completely flips on its head.
I feel like that entire fight was almost procced out of greed from QUT. Like, that was such an ambitious dive right there onto TN. Because, all right, yes, TN did blow Flash, but it's still a Vladimir. It's still such a hard target to bring down, and there was more than enough time for the Chiefs to react in that situation.
Yeah.
So, not to mention, they weren't keeping track of the teleport timers as well, so Beats was able to teleport in. Odd decision-making from QUT. Definitely still recoverable, but if you're the Chiefs right now, this game, it feels like QUT is throwing nothing at them that the Chiefs aren't prepared for.
It just feels like Chiefs are more connected. And I say that because it's like, in isolation, you're like, yes, okay, like, they absolutely Silas Karma versus the Vladimir that's already burned all his buttons. Like, that dive is successful if you remove everybody else from the map, right? But the bottom lane had already reset. Nausicaa got the early base and was Moby's running towards topside and made it there before the dive could have even happened, right? Very nice flash play box, kind of rips them to part, keeps them in place, and Alani comes flying over the wall. So once again, Chiefs had the read and were there first, so punish. As you mentioned, like, greed, but I'm hesitant to call it greed. Like, yes, in isolation it is, but it just looked like the communication wasn't there and the members didn't have the info they thought they were playing with.
Well, Constellation Prize was picked up by QUT at some stage. They do have that Rift Herald right now sitting on High Goodbye. I'm curious where they're going to wind up putting it because it's already nearly time to drop it. And with High Goodbye in top lane, so are most of the Chiefs, so it feels like not really the most optimal Rift Herald at the moment.
I feel like he just has to drop it, though. Sitting in top side, gonna try and get as far up the lane as possible. Dodge away from the Thresh. If he doesn't hit the bush, he could just get hooked in the face. Of course, Shelly will poke her head out of this one, as I think Nausicaa has an ID. You can see multiple pings onto the turret, so they know the cooldown and they know exactly what is going on. Karia sitting in front of the Silas, denying the...
Oh, here it goes. Oh, it's going to get interrupted. No chance for that one to go through, but Nausicaa in a bit of trouble. However, Vicaria is going to be the one who might go down. Flash use on the Poppy. Health bar super low. Alani trying to chase after it, but will have to try to grab the Lantern to escape. The good use of the stopwatch saves High Goodbye for now. Beats trying to throw down those rocks. Is unable to secure the kill. Wei trying to get to High Goodbye, but Vicaria is the one who's going to pin him to the wall, and with the tower, they turn it around. In the end, it's 1 for 1, 2 for 1. Enough burn was there to secure the kill.
Yeah, Chiefs, they find themselves the 2 for 1, but Nausicaa is just the one man keeping Chiefs alive right now. Denies the Rift Herald, perfect stopwatch on the re-engage. Yes, Vicaria was able to find more, but that's
going
a flash.
Super deep. He has the flash and has the kill secured.
Yeah, very easily played. Flash for no flash. has the lantern to get himself the safety, and Chiefs are just walking away with everything. This was looking like a start of the game going well for QUT. They have the mid-jungle, they have the 2-0 start for the Sylas, but the conversion just isn't there. Chiefs having a response every single time. They land here first, they win the fight, another turret going down. I say another, that was first brick, so you get the bonus gold. Of course, it is 15 minutes, no plating taken down, but you see kills onto the right targets. Redemption already completed here for Nausicaa. It's getting rougher and rougher for QUT.
It is, and if the Chiefs continue to play this way, this could be a much faster game than our game 1 tonight. Frogdog being forced to teleport back in lane, hoping to absorb this wave and try and keep up with TN. I feel for the QT to get back in this one, they need to start possibly playing around bot lane, I suppose. You have the Iceborne already finished by Feint. He should be looking to complete his second item very soon, and maybe off of that power spike, QUT could look for something.
Yeah, the Ezreal, like, of course, scales incredibly well, but he's going to have to deal with a Vladimir that we haven't even seen influence the game as of yet, right? Like, the Karma and the Vlad just kind of sat there trading blows for the entirety of the 16 minutes we have seen so far. I mean, it just is another threat to add on to this one. I feel like the OCS out of all the leagues are like triple threat comps. Yeah. Maybe the Dire Cubs are the team that always plays like a bruiser tank topside more often than not, but...
Nausicaa in right forward does connect with the Death Sense, and that is a lot of trouble for Frogdog. TN going in super deep, drops the Hemo Plague, and is actually kind of caught in a bad place as the damage gets turned back around. Nausicaa does go down. High Goodbye is the next target, easily gets obliterated by the Chiefs.
Yeah, and once again, Chiefs, they find themselves a pick off the back end of Nausicaa. 50-50 hook, and he lands it onto Karma, takes him out, and 2 kills. Mountain Dragon is going to be the prize. Feint was trying to get stuff done onto the Aurelia, but be a little bit too late here. They actually may be going for the contest here.
Yeah, they might go for it. True Shot Barrage is available for Feint. He has been made some connections, so he should know what the Dragon's health roughly is. Chiefs don't want to risk it. They might back away, or no, they're just dragging it out of the pit. Oh, good pick. Good catch on the Wei right now, and Wei is in a bad position. Steadfast Presence holding that Aurelia down, so a kill will be secured in return for the Mountain Drake.
He was just in Narnia. He had no right to walk through there. And paid his life for it. Chiefs were actually just waiting on the smite time of the Dragon. Alani had that one coming up very shortly, but Wei, maybe a little bit of role unfamiliarity, right? Like coming through, of course, he's the bottom laner. Picks up the Aurelia, gets shoved in mid lane to answer the Fizz, and has had a fairly rough time so far. And it does kind of skew the way you see the map, especially when you get into mid game. Like, you can think about a lane and a matchup in isolation, but it's the roles you kind of tend towards once lane finishes and the game opens up a lot more that do provide a little bit more difficulty, and not for certain, but that could have been the case there, so he does fall down.
Manaman has been picked up for Feint now, so I do expect to see more out of this Ezreal moving forward. Perhaps maybe even putting him in the lane with an around Wei to maybe further that lead, perhaps, because Wei is quite far behind, and I don't feel like you want to throw Feint anywhere near Beats. Just because Beats is, like,
I feel like most likely that will be the matchup, though, not to do with like the champions and how they interact, just to do with the map. Right? Like, all of these guys want to be playing 1-3-1. There's no way you're going to put an Aurelia in the mid lane and try and wave clear as like a bruiser against a support 80 carry duo. There's just no way you get priority ever. So the Talia is just going to be pushing waves in, I expect, once their jungler gets back on the map, and both of these guys going for that 1-3-1. Reasonable gold lead completed here for the Chiefs, 3,000-ish in their favor as we're approaching that 20-minute mark. But the big news story is the fact that 2 items now done for Tien. Got himself that kill on the Karma bottom side of the back end of Nausicaa, goes back, finds the Spellbinder, has the Proto Belt already as well, so he's in a very good position, has been basically unscathed throughout the early stages and is coming online into Vladimir territory.
Yep, I mean, we did say at the start of the game, probably put like a 20-25 minute timer on this top lane, and that's when the chicken roast will be ready to cook.
Did you ever play like Age of Empires online?
Never played it online. I played Age of Empires 2 quite a bit, like in like locally.
Because I always played, like, there were these lobbies and people would be like 55-minute, no rush. So like you would just gentleman's agreement, no touching each other for like 50 minutes, and then you just like, that's it. You just one fight and you're done.
StarCraft Brood War, we had a lot of those, except it was a lot faster. It'd be like 20 minutes, no rush.
But this is like a Karma Vlad lane, right? He just straight up, they're like, okay, I'm not going to do anything for a very long time, and now he's got his items, now he's feeling good.
If the action comes to us, I guess we'll deal with it, but otherwise, let's just keep it away.
We'll never opt in.
Chiefs already getting that deep pressure, looking for the warding around the Baron. An attempt made at a play, doesn't quite connect this time around, but they should be getting that blue buff.
Blue buff literally spawned in the face of Nausicaa as he was looking to hook, and like, that was a hook going towards 3 people, it would have connected. But the Golem just jumps out of nowhere, pops it in the face, and yes, as you mentioned, the Silas is able to smite that one away, so actually secures his blue. Fate getting frisky, but just gets a little bit of damage, no hook.
This is interesting. I feel as if QUT is going to have to back out of this jungle soon just because of that pressure in the mid lane being applied right now by Alani. And yep, here comes the reaction. That is Fate moving towards him. But be careful because Tien is moving towards mid lane as well. Does get spotted by a ward though, so he will have to back off for now.
Unspecialized with the comms, hits him with a ping right on top of the Vladimir, so they knew the flank was a potential. Chiefs, if they can force QUT to stack underneath this turret, will always have the inside track with the Vladimir, so dive potential is certainly there if they can get the wave reasonably under the turret, but as you can see, Ezreal sitting there, Q spam with a Frozen Fist is hard to make happen.
I've never noticed that before, but as Ezreal finishes the arcane shift, his like legs were like kicking as if he was like still trying to run. Yeah, the animation where he was like flailing a bit at the end.
What was I looking at? Oh, it's like I feel like it's on the front page of Reddit right now. It's like a Faker outplay, Akali over the Azir wall, and Akali when she casts her E, her arm like Go-Go Gadget like arm just comes zooming out and bends, and it's like super elastic and stretches. Like, yeah, genuinely top of Reddit, go look at the clip and it's the same thing. It just looks whack. Like, you're not meant to look at League of Legends zoomed in slow-mo. It doesn't work.
I feel there's a lot of games like that though, where like character models just sometimes will break for one frame and like the guy's head will be huge and distorted and then back to normal.
I remember reading like, because Riot does those like dev diary things. I remember reading one super long time ago, but it's to do with like the perspective that you view the game. It's not top down, and obviously it's not side to side. Like it's not like a platformer, it's not 2D. So most champions run animations. If you skew the camera to like an actual like person's view, they're real bouncy. Yeah. Because to get the movement to look like they're running normally, like the champions actually like bounce up on the Z-axis like quite a bit.
Yeah, you can see Poppy specifically. Look at her.
Yeah, like yeah. And like if you like, obviously we can't, I think, in the Spectate client, but like, what's that thing called? Oh, it's like the something tool. I don't know, like the camera tool. It's been around for years. Where like all the YouTubers go to make their like clickbait like what are they called? Like title cards. Yeah. And they like look at different angles, that sort of stuff. Yeah, it looks real whack. Skin Spotlight Reap, yes, Skin Spotlight. Thank you, production. That's the one.
So, those are old Skin Spotlights. Those are really old.
I'm pretty sure they're still used.
Oh, Alani is super deep. Tien's in deeper. The Hemo Plague had been dropped. Tien not going to follow up. A good Weaver's Wall holding this area in place, but a flash will be used, so Poppy will escape.
Okay, opportunity looked for. Not quite going to land. That was a very close hook. As Beats may get a flick here onto Feint. Actually is on vision right now, so knew what he was playing with and hits him in the face with a Frozen Fist, but given the cooldowns are burnt, I expect Chiefs just looking to take the Dragon, looking to reset the map and go back into their lull sort of state.
Yeah, the pace of this game has slowed down immensely since the spawning of Baron. I feel each teams are aware that perhaps losing a fight loses that Baron buff, which is oh so important in close games such as this one.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's like the Chiefs don't really have a lot of tools to start off a fight. And like it is somewhat as simple as that. Like, it's hard for them to break the inner turrets. At the same time, it's hard for them to just force a fight immediately because their engage is an Aurelia stunner. It's a Thresh hook. It's not a comp with a Yasuo and Alistar and stuff like that. So QUT, as you expect, play defensive. They're a little bit behind. They want to get towards Bork for the Ezreal. Karma, yes, now just recently completed 2 items, the Ardent. So they are hitting their breakpoints, but Chiefs certainly struggling to accelerate this game just based on how everybody interacts. Baron spawning recently does make it a little bit more interesting now. You see Tien actually opting into the Ghost, and every single time he has any sort of priority is using that to rotate up the river.
Yes, but he still hasn't found anything yet, but Shot Barrage is down right now, and that's good timing for the Chiefs because now they can like sort of step forward, clear some vision without really too much threat of being overly harassed. Still, though, there's a lot of vision to clear, so no Death Push will be set up, at least just yet, and as fast as those wards are placed down, immediately, return wards are placed by QUT.
Yeah, very nice ward from QT actually in their own blue pit. Will actually spot a flank from Tien if he uses that path right now, and also spots Nausicaa in his current position. So interesting choice there from the Chiefs. They were just hoping that QUT face checked them. Unspecialized.
Yeah, Unspecialized going after
Hook
Nausicaa,
lands.
but the big death sentence does secure the kill onto Feint. Here comes a bit of a re-engage. Tien going super deep after Unspecialized and Frogadog. The Hemoplague did come down, but not really enough damage is there to secure a kill. But Tien is so tanky, he is so annoying. He's buying time with the stopwatch as Alani makes his presence known. Good use of the redemption to make the retreat, so...
Yeah, they find themselves a pick once again off the back of Nausicaa. Somehow weaves it in between a Fizz and lands onto an Ezreal. But yes, Baron has been started. 10k is the HP bar. Feint on the Ezreal has TP, so he can get back onto the map immediately. Hook lands again.
Nausicaa again with the death sentence. This time it's onto Vicaria, who will go down. Chiefs don't want to follow up just yet. They're going right back to that Baron pit, but here comes the teleport. Feint is looking to join the fight. Frogadog stepping forward, trying to push the Chiefs away, who do retreat as 5. Trying to find another way into this fight. Nope, instead they opt to retreat.
Yeah, cooldown's already gone. Hemoplague gone. World Ender gone. Aurelia has nothing. Very difficult for them to continue this chase.
Unspecialized was trying to buy some time and delay the backs. I'm kind of curious what the plan was there, but they think they have beats. I don't know if they know Alani is there, though. So a quick retreat from High goodbye. Here comes the two-shot barrage. Does a lot of damage to beats. That will delay things for now.
Flashes onto a fish as QUT aren't actually going to go for the full chase here, so bases did get stopped. Nobody lost their lives there. Chiefs, of course, at the end of the day, were forced away from the Baron. Very difficult. Lots of one-button champions on their lineup right now, and they use their buttons. It's hard to stick around, especially against something like the Ezreal. That does mean that the TP is now gone, so if they can find another pick, Nausicaa has been incredibly reliable this game with a Thresh. I was saying, like, they don't have an Alistar, they only have a Thresh, but if you can just connect every button, then certainly easy to start these fights off. Vision control in their favor once again, and looking to pressure around the Baron pit.
Yeah, they're looking to get that pressure once again established. Beats with teleport will be looking to go back to the bot side to keep that bottom lane pressure going. Actually, kind of being followed as well by Tien, so just looking to instead secure, I suppose, the jungle before looking to start the Baron dance one more. Get as much as you can from your side of the map. But this could lead to a rush attempt, possibly from QT. Now, it's reset time. Rewind the clock, reset time.
Yeah, zero vision. Rushing a Baron is certainly a quick way to lose this game.
I've been doing too many Iron to Gold tournaments where it's like, we don't know what to do. Rush Baron. 75% of the time it works.
That is actually the classic, like, solo queue play of people get a lead and they're like, let's group.
Good death sense, but the follow-up damage is there as well. Kill secure.
And I was going to say, like, let's group is very often the worst thing to do. Playing one lane in League of Legends is the quickest way to just do nothing. But doing something is Nausicaa, landing another hook onto Vicaria, and that wall is looking to block people out. Tien gets 3.
Yeah, big Hemoplague from Tien, but he's already so low. Going to look to possibly grab the lantern to escape. Does get out this time. The return Hemoplague was dropped by High and Goodbye as well, but it didn't really connect with anyone. Unspecialized leading the chase. Feint getting a lot of damage down onto this Thresh. Unspecialized going in super deep, gets played and has to stopwatch. Alani with the re-engage is able to try and turn around. Unspecialized has to flash to get out of that one. Way steps forward, is going to act as that front line, but with no health bars behind him, he will run away.
They have the chase though with the Karma and the Ezreal, but they choose not to opt in, so nobody else dies up the back end. Fish from Unspecialized unfortunately lands onto the Aatrox and couldn't continue looking for that play, but Chiefs find themselves another successful fight here. You can see, given that all the priority Tien has had, he's catching every single wave and that is rotating on his terms, whereas that absolutely cannot be said for Frogadog. So 50 CS lead now on the Vladimir. 3rd item completed and the stopwatch upgrades fully into the Zhonyas. Definitely scary to deal with right now, as Baron is still the port of call. It's been about 10 minutes of jostling, I would say, so far, but Chiefs, they found a lot of victories, none big enough to take down the Worm.
None big enough to take down the Worm, but perhaps, you know, enough to get themselves another uncontested dragon in this game. So the Cloud Drake going to the Chiefs, that's their 4th one this game, and in about 5.5 minutes, Elder Dragon's going to be on the board, and with 4 dragons, that is a huge, you know, objective for the Chiefs.
Yeah, 100%, just like last game as well. Like, Red Team has a bunch of dragons. You're approaching that Elder territory. It's, interestingly enough, we get to the sticky end of the season and the games do slow down. was what, like a 38-minute victory for Legacy last time, and now approaching 30 minutes before the Baron gets taken here. No base broken, the inner ring not even broken, so Chiefs actually grouping up fairly early this game.
Nausicaa was on a ward right there, but QUT aren't going to go for the surprise. They would have been spotted as well had they stepped forward, because there's a deep ward there as well. Just vision all over the place on the top side of this map.
Yeah, just spamming the button there from QUT. They just have to make something stick. Pink ward is going to deny that one. The blue orb comes through, so they know what's happening, but Chiefs may just have enough time. Mountain Dragon in their hands makes short work of the Baron.
Yeah, and like QUT haven't really been able to step forward yet. Teleport coming through as well, so TN will be there. Here comes the fight though. Bobby knocking away one member. I believe that was Fresh who was gone. Alani is the target and he will be shut down. Wei also super low, has to try and buy time with the stopwatch, but should go down if High Goodbye can stay on him. High Goodbye using his own stopwatch in a lot of trouble right now. The resurrection is there. Nausicaa has rejoined the fight, but Vicarious is not able to pin TN to the wall. High Goodbye jumping back onto Nausicaa as TN is zoning away the rest of QUT.
Thanks.
2 kills have been secured. Fate back in the action this time around, but is not going to be able to do much. Big win for the Chiefs.
Yeah, crucial mistake there from the Ezreal. He thought he had another kill, but the stopwatch comes through and Tien lives to fight another day. That may have just been enough to force Chiefs to take down the Baron. No jungler available, so Steel will always be here if the Fizz can get in.
Yeah, he's trying to find the way in, but those health bars are so low. There's no way they can really realistically contest this. Baron will be secured by the Chiefs, and perhaps this is what they can use to break the base open.
Yeah, that looked like another one of those successful plays where it's like the winning team sets up a Baron, but the losers can stall out for just a little bit longer, right? They get that fight into equilibrium until the Ezreal dashes in and loses his life. They could have just walked away, but you point out 16 stacks on a Medjai's for beats. Baron buff on probably most members right now. I'm not too sure 3 or 4. Actually 4. It was just the single death there coming through, so gonna have pick of the litter right now and all their options open.
It's 16 stacks, and with a death cap on the way, Beats is going for the one-shot build.
Which he should, right? If a hook lands, a single flick is enough to take down like 90% of the enemy team comp.
Who survives the flick? Poppy.
Poppy with Aftershock. I reckon without it, probably just gets one hit anyway.
Like this
Fizz, maybe, because he can like... Does he have Merc Trades? No, he's got Sork, so... Genuinely, I think everybody gets one hit. Yeah, like, nobody lives the hook, 100%.
Yeah, the hook is definitely death, as well as potentially a stun coming out of Wei as well. Could be enough to just sort of chain that CC and take anyone down. This is a scary situation for QUT. They have to be very careful about their positioning, but at the same time, we are getting ever closer, perhaps. Oh no, we won't be seeing the Elder Drake in at 35 minutes because a sneaky Cloud Drake is going to spawn in just before.
True. Take it before the mark. Fate just goes forward. No flash.
What are you doing there right now? He's going to try and get away, but he's already so low. The follow-up flash from Alani will help secure the kill.
Tien is actually on a flank though, so maybe continuing the fight, looking for it, but isn't going to pull the trigger. One member dead, as that's a wall coming through from Beats.
Yeah, Weaver's wall. Froggadog is the target. He's able to sidestep the plate, but the siege is still on. Those Baron Empowered Minions are about to crash into that tower, and I don't think QUT can defend this. Mid tower should go down. Wei looking for the fight. Gets a stun onto the Specialized, but cannot follow up this time around. Beats is actually the one who's in trouble, trying to kite out High and Goodbye, who is forced to flash. Tower and Inhibitor will fall.
Yeah, Inhib broken. Base in shambles as the next wave is crashing in the top lane. Chiefs just walk on over. Still 5 members up and available. 10 seconds on Fate before the Ezreal is back in relevance, but way too little too late there. And
Froggadog. Froggadog was in trouble, though. Unspecialized is still looking for that flank, was able to dodge one death sentence. If he can find a way, perhaps, to get onto Beats, maybe he can turn it around. But Unspecialized walks right into 3 of them and decides to turn away instead.
Yeah, that's a death sentence waiting to happen if you just run at the enemy members. Ezreal spawning means that they do chase Chiefs very deep back into their territory, as Blue Orb actually spots them out, but the recalls are going to come through just in time. Base completely broken. 2 inhibs gone. Baron's still available. I expect Chiefs going to have maybe another 30-45 seconds to play with if they want to set something up quickly, but this is not a situation you like to see for QUT. As we mentioned at the top of this game, it's really do or die right now. This game, a loss equals a inability to make it to the playoffs, the postseason, out of their reach if Chiefs are able to close this one out.
Yeah, and things are looking very good for the Chiefs right now, but you have to believe perhaps the dream is still alive. It would just make that run even more miraculous should QUT climb out of this deficit. But nearly 10K down, 5 Dragons down, 2 destroyed inhibitors. It just seems like such a large ask, especially against this Talia, who has now gotten to 18 stacks on that Soul Stealer.
Yeah, we're very close to 25. The bottom lane for Chiefs, Rozika and Beats has been a 1-2 punch of the ages right now, and a lot of the success riding off the back end of that one. Tien still sitting untouched this game, 0 deaths, and the Vladimir now has his death cap 4th item completed, so incredibly strong is basically every member of Chiefs right now, and the last remaining inhib is the play.
Nausicaa is stepping so far up, looking for that death sense, really just zoning away QUT as the rest of the Chiefs take down the tower. So another tier 2 is gone. That is the last one. Only one more tower in the base remains.
And I can tell you from experience, Nausicaa has landed too many hooks this game, because now he's opting in for the 50-50s. He goes for the juke onto the Ezreal, looking to predict the arcane shift, and he's certainly feeling it right now. Ocean Dragon ×2 is definitely going to help him get his health back, even that he copped it, as you kind of do on Thresh when you miss your hook. But
meanwhile, oh, here comes the Weaver's Wall. Feint should be able to shift over. Instead of opting to drop the True Shot Barrage first, trying to clear that wave, buying so much time. That was the longest hook ever, courtesy of Poppy. Meanwhile, Frogadog and Tien kind of dueling it in that mid lane. Here comes the Super Minions, though. They are about to start hitting those Nexus towers. Someone has to react to it, and that could be the opening for the Chiefs.
Yeah, interesting that they actually used the wall on that wave. It gets immediately eaten, and they didn't have the extra threat of the Super Creeps on the Nexus, but cooldown is going to be shot from Beats, and still looking to pressure the last remaining structure here. That's a fish.
Yeah, Specialized going in super deep, is able to drop Charm the Waters onto Nausicaa, but the damage isn't there. Tien going in super deep, and this could be the fight that blows it open. 2 members of QUT already down. There goes the Poppy as well. He can't even make it to the fountain. A double kill right now for Tien. He wants the triple. He might look for it back in the fountain, but he will not be diving for it. It does not matter. Frogadog should not be able to save the hopes and dreams of QUT, and the Chiefs Academy are looking to be advancing to the playoffs.
They get the perfect flank they needed. Tien into the back line. Looking to pad their stats a little bit before they close this one out. Super Creeps are going to do us justice. But that was just a well-played game.
That was. Clean from the Chiefs. Super clean.
Yep. Top lane goes untouched in what was basically a nothing matchup. Really, the only hiccup was early, like Silas double kill. And you're looking at a Fizz lane, like, this could be pretty rough. QUT have played off the back of Unspecialized for the last couple of weeks. Like, it's been Nocturnes, and now it's the Fizz, but unfortunately weren't able to make the transition. Yep. And once they really had their lead, Nausicaa on the Thresh, absolutely popping off. Talia does so much damage.
Yes. I mean, yeah, Beats opting for all-in damage on that Talia. I feel as if, yeah, we never really saw the Fizz get going on the side lane, which is something that I felt QUT needed in that team kill.
Like really, like if you look at the comp, like yes, absolutely. Like Karma needs to be the one to group, because like she builds Archangels and then immediately goes for an what's the item? I'm blanking. The attack speed, the Ardent Sensor.
Ardent Sensor, yeah.
And it's like, you kind of want to swap with your other solo lane. Like, you want the Fizz to go side lane, be a pressure point, and then you just sit there and be a shield bot. But unfortunately, like, wasn't the case there, didn't get off the ground. And once Chiefs really, like, got control of the game, there was really no lapsing there. It was like, it took a long time, I guess, to get the Baron to break it open. But once they had it, it was just lights out.
Yeah, and that's a huge win for the Chiefs. They advanced to 6-4, and I believe with that, they have secured themselves a spot in the playoffs. I think there is some shenanigans that could happen with Gravitas and the Bombers.
Yeah, you can't say they've secured themselves.
No, it's looking very good.
Yeah, like they just need to be winning their games, right? Yeah. Like this is, they have QUT, like fairly easy games by any stretch of the margin there. They're also going to have Order next week, so super important that they pick up their victories. Definitely had a much better start to the season, I believe. Couple of back-to-back losses there, Dire Cubs into Emprox, but they pick up the victory here today. That was game number 2. They're able to cleanly lock that one down. Don't go anywhere. 3 minutes, we'll be back with more.